Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we're about to unpack a pretty fascinating agricultural and biological puzzle straight out of the latest applied ruminant science brief. We're talking about a phenomenon that has honestly baffled farm managers and nutritionists for decades, the mystery of the shrinking cow, and exactly how we decode post-calving weight loss. So let's just dive right into this.
It is the ultimate paradox on the dairy farm. You know the exact feeling. You've prepped all year, right? The calving season went perfectly. The new mothers are producing just incredible amounts of milk. But then, you walk the barn and you see it. Your fresh cows are getting visibly thinner every single week. It's incredibly frustrating. Why, when literally everything seems to be going so right, are the cows seemingly wasting away?
Well, here is our roadmap for today to figure that out. We're going to start with the shrinking cow mystery itself, uncover the hidden biology of the energy deficit, and then explore exactly when that weight loss turns toxic. After that, we'll outline some real ways to solve the challenge on the farm before wrapping up with a look at some wild future tech and AI.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the shrinking cow mystery.
Let's set the scene here. On paper, you are crushing it. Milk production is up. The ration you're feeding meets absolutely all the nutritional specs. And yet, during your routine body condition scoring, prominent hips and pins are starting to pop up within just weeks of calving. And you know, it's not just a visual thing. Right alongside this weight loss, you start seeing lower conception rates down the line, cows developing ketosis, and some just never quite regaining their condition during the entire lactation cycle.
So, what's really happening? Let's move to Section 2, the biology of energy deficit.
To solve this mystery, we really have to look under the hood at the cellular biology driving the weight loss. The absolute crucial point is this: the cow temporarily borrows energy from her body fat. You can basically think of this like a financial transaction. Milk production, that's a massive, sudden daily expense. But the cow's feed intake, her daily income, that increases much more slowly. So when the daily feed income falls short of the milk production expense, the cow has absolutely no choice but to make a withdrawal from her savings account. And in this case, her savings account is her body fat.
Let's walk through how this biological cascade actually plays out. At day 0, we've got calving. By week 1, milk production is skyrocketing, sometimes doubling in just a few weeks. By week 2, the energy demand to make all that milk completely exceeds what the cow can physically eat. That drops her into week 3, a state we call negative energy balance, or NEB. And because of that massive deficit, by week 4, she enters heavy body fat mobilization. She is physically breaking down her own reserves just to keep the milk flowing.
Which brings us to Section 3, when weight loss turns toxic. Because you might be wondering, when does this totally natural biological adaptation cross the line into a dangerous metabolic crisis? Well, it all comes down to the Goldilocks principle. Over on the moderate loss side, taking a little bit of energy out of that fat savings account is just a normal evolutionary adaptation. It's totally expected. But look at the excessive loss side. When that loss goes overboard, the cow faces severe metabolic disease risk. Excessive loss leads directly to delayed return to ovarian activity, lower conception rates, way higher susceptibility to disease, and ironically, less milk produced over the entire lactation.
Now, getting a bit technical for a second, when those fat reserves are broken down rapidly, they enter the bloodstream as NEFA, that's non-esterified fatty acids. The liver tries its best to use these for energy, or it converts them into ketone bodies like BHBA. But here is the critical point of failure. When the fat mobilization is just too excessive, it completely overwhelms the liver's capacity to process it. The liver literally gets flooded, and this directly causes fatty liver disease in clinical ketosis.
But we need to connect this biology directly back to the barn floor. What actually pushes a cow from moderate loss to excessive loss? Well, it's real-world challenges. Take heat stress. The biological consequence there is a reduced appetite, which translates on the farm to increased body reserve loss. What about lameness? A lame cow makes fewer feeding visits, right? That lowers her intake. Even overstocking just leads to feed competition. All of these external, real-world challenges restrict her dry matter intake, throwing her way deeper into severe negative energy balance and driving up those ketosis rates.
Okay, so let's get proactive. Section 4, solving the farm challenge.
We know the biology, and we know the risks, so how do farm managers actively step in and halt this excessive weight loss? The source material outlines some really clear evidence-based actions. The absolute golden rule here: maximizing dry matter intake, especially during the transition period. Those 3 weeks before and after calving. Providing fresh feed immediately after milking, keeping it consistently available, reducing social competition in the pen, all of this ensures she eats as much as humanly possible to close that energy deficit gap early. You also absolutely have to actively monitor body condition score, or BCS, and manage her condition long before she ever calves.
And to effectively monitor that BCS, we have to look at critical milestones. Honestly, taking just a single measurement is almost useless because you have zero baseline. You have to track the change. Step 1 is checking at dry-off. Step 2 is the close-up period. Step 3 is calving itself. Step 4 tracks the most vulnerable window, which is 30 to 60 days in milk. And finally, Step 5 is breeding. By continuously tracking across these exact milestones, you can actually see the trajectory of the energy deficit and step in before it turns into a crisis.
Now, there is a huge misconception here that we need to clear up. You might be thinking, hey, if she's going to lose fat anyway, shouldn't I just make her as fat as possible before she calves? No, absolutely not. The goal is optimal, not maximum body condition. Cows entering the dry period overconditioned, basically too fat, are actually at a much greater risk for excessive fat mobilization after calving. They mobilize fat faster, which overwhelms the liver faster, totally setting themselves up for fatty liver and poor fertility.
And to manage this proactively, you also need to flag your high-risk cows early on. We're talking older cows, your highest producing animals, cows carrying twins, anyone that had a difficult calving, or any animal with a history of metabolic disorders. They are prime candidates for excessive weight loss. These are the girls that require increased monitoring and extra nutritional support from day one.
Moving right along to our final part, Section 5, Future Tech, AI and Sensors. So visual scoring with the clipboard is incredibly helpful. But let's be real, modern agriculture is rapidly evolving way past that. Today we have 3D camera systems that automatically estimate body condition without ever having to handle or stress the animal. It's amazing. Computer vision can detect the most subtle changes in body shape and fat reserves day over day. Smart feeding systems can monitor an individual cow's feed intake and instantly flag an animal whose appetite is dropping. And artificial intelligence ties the whole shebang together, crunching feed intake, milk yield, rumination, and activity data all at once.
By combining all these massive data sets, AI represents a literal paradigm shift for the farm. The future of dairy farming isn't just measuring body condition after the cow has already lost it. It's predicting metabolic risk before clinical signs even develop, before production drops, and before fertility is permanently affected. It is completely moving the industry from reactive treatment to proactive prevention, a real game changer.
All right, we have covered a ton of ground today. We looked at the hidden biology of the energy deficit, the real dangers of excessive fat mobilization, and the management strategies and cool new tech used to combat it. But I want to leave you with a final provocative thought straight from the science brief. What strategy has made the biggest difference in reducing body condition loss on your own farm? Is it dialing in that transition nutrition? Is it improving cow comfort to maximize feed intake? Or is it something else entirely? Think about how these scientific principles apply to your own systems. Thank you so much for exploring this awesome topic with me today. Keep learning, keep adapting, and I will catch you on the next explainer.